So Alexander Mattison and Chuba Hubbard will almost certainly garner the top 2 claims for our season-long fantasy friends watching right now. Which one would be your priority?
Yeah, it's a good question because we know CMC's done for the season. So Chuba Hubbard is the guy for the rest of the way. So do you want a guy that you know is going to be the starter every week for Carolina and their putrid offense that can't move the ball down the field? Or do you want to find a guy on a good team that knows how to run the ball that you can plug in for Dalvin Cook for a couple of weeks? I know Dalvin Cook isn't out, but he's got the one torn labrum and now the other shoulder is done as well. It doesn't sound great. I will go with quality over quantity here and say that I want Alexander Mattison because if we do get 2 games out of him in terms of season long, he's a guy you can plug right in and play and get RB1 numbers from and kind of help you make that playoff push. Whereas with the Panthers, CMC is very talented, but you plug a backup in for him and it's just not the same, especially when that offense isn't moving the ball. So I'll go with Minnesota's offense over Carolina's offense essentially here.
Yeah, Jules, and Madison recorded more than 100 yards in both of those starts without Cook earlier this season. Pearce, what about you? Any chance you want to go over to the Panthers side, despite that offense just looking atrocious right now?
Yeah, no, we've talked about the Panthers' offense being terrible all season. We knew ahead of time that they had offensive line issues. They had offensive line issues every season, and it's a miracle that CMC can make stuff happen in that backfield. It's going to be a lot harder on Hubbard. It's going to be a lot harder on Cam Newton. And that's the reason why you don't want to take Hubbard in a vacuum, but it's not in a vacuum. We know that at the end of the season, there's a good chance that Dalvin Cook's going to be back. So if you're already going to make the playoffs and you're locked into the playoffs, then I would go with Hubbard, thinking that, well, maybe you'll be able to use him at the end of the season. You're not going to be able to use Cook, or you're not going to be able to use Madison because Cook will probably be back. Now, if you are trying to make the playoffs and you're on the fringe, then you definitely go with Madison. He's the better running back. He's in a better offense that can move the ball. He doesn't have to worry about Cam Newton poaching touchdowns from him. So short run, it's Madison. If you're already in the playoffs, you're going for the long run. I would go with Hubbard. You may not use him, but it would be nice to have him there on your bench at least.